Okay, so welcome back here. In this project, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taping this new sheetrock installation here. And as you can see here, it looks like it's like a mess, and they didn't do that great of a job. So our job is, or my job is, to fix it. So what we have here. There was a water leak, and they cut this out and they replaced it with a new sheet of 1/2 inch drywall. This is 5/8, so this is smaller, or it's the width of the drywall is less than this. So this is a 1/2 and this is 5/8. So this is kind of recessed a little bit, and you can see it right over here. In this area here, if I put my taping blade all up against it, you can see that if I put the camera there, you can see that space. You can see the light right there. So we have a lot of areas like right here where there's a huge gap. It's probably like 1/4 of like an inch. So we're gonna have to fill this whole area with mud here, and like right up here too. There's a huge, like probably like a 1/4 inch gap there from here to here. So this is higher than this right here. And also, when they put the sheetrock in, they use the tapered edge on this side here. So this is a factory edge, but they cut it on this side here. So on this side here, we have the paper where the corners have lifted off here, and that's always going to pose a problem when you go to tape, because you're going to have that there. And also, if you screw the screws in too hard, what's going to happen is you're going to tear the paper. You're going to get a mushroom effect, which is right here, this area right here. And if you try to tape over that, it'll continue to be loose, and it won't look like this, because this is hard and this is soft, because there's air that's behind there. So when we have to cut out all areas where the drywall has started to mushroom up. Again, right here, there's an area from that screw right here. And then up here we have some of the water damage, and this is loose here, so we're gonna have to cut that out there. Okay, so put this light down. So what you have a lot of the tapers will come in and they'll put mud on it, and then they'll tape it. But when you do that, now you have a huge hump in the wall, because this is a butt joint right here on both ends. It's where the two sheets of drywall come together that were cut, and you have that raised edge there. So a tip or a technique to get rid of that, so that you don't have to bring the mud that far out, is to use a knife here to cut away the edge of the drywall. I'm doing this on a 45, okay? And that's gonna get rid of this loose edge here that's not connected tight to the drywall. So it creates a lip. So I'm using my knife here to shave that down. And that's gonna get rid of that edge, that loose frayed edge. And what we're also doing is we're creating more space in the joint so that we can pack it with more mud. And when you pack it with more mud, the mud bonds the two sheets together. So when you have areas like all up here where there isn't a gap, you definitely want to create one so that you can get the mud behind there, so that you can effectively glue the two pieces of drywall together better. So I just cut that out right there, and that's going to get rid of the problem areas between the two sheets of drywall there. And again, I'm cutting on a 45. So we are effectively taking away that loose frayed edge. So I'm gonna put this down, and I'm gonna come up here. Just gonna cut that and do this one here. Okay, and then we have to do this side here. And I'm just gonna drag my knife all the way down. Now we've come to this point here where the mushrooming thing was. So I'm gonna take my knife, and it comes all the way down here. And it goes to there. So we need to pop this piece out right here. I got it right there. You can see how the paper is loose, and it's just gonna come up there. So you wanna make sure you tear out that there. So now when I tap, this is a nice sound surface now. So I'll come down here. So now, both of these sides here, now there's a little bit of a lip here, so we're gonna cut that back there. You can see that's where they drilled it in too hard. So this is a nice edge now to pre-fill. Now we're gonna come up here to the top here and work on this area up here. So this is all loose here. So I'm gonna cut it right below the crown. Okay, and then use my 1-inch potting knife here to get rid of all this loose stuff here. And this is loose too, so I'm gonna make it an incision right below the crown on the caulk line. Get rid of that there. And this goes all the way to about right there. So again, make an incision, and we'll make an incision here and come straight down. Okay, and there's I'm gonna cut this on a 45 here. Okay, so that got rid of all the loose paper there. And we'll just clean this up. I'll make an incision going right there and there. So be sure to get rid of all the loose paper that you have there. Okay, so that's going to deal with that area there. Now I'm going to use my blade to shave away the top here. sides. And now we're gonna work on this edge here. Okay, down here in the corner, this has the mushroom effect here, so I'm gonna cut like that there, and this should just come right up here. Now it's cracked right there, so we're gonna get rid of that there. And now there isn't a gap here, so we want to create one, so we're gonna shave down, get rid of that right there. Do that there. Okay, so we just took that loose chunk out there. Now, we took down the side here, and I'm gonna cut away this right here a little bit more. Okay, now I don't have to shave down this side because this is the tapered side. This is wrapped, so that's perfectly fine there. There's a hole there. Use the end of this to screw that in just a little bit more there. Now we're going to come down to the bottom here, and we're going to shave this down here. Okay, so we created a void there that we're going to pack full of mud. So simply by doing this to all of your butt joints, you have recessed the area and you've taken away that loose edge, so that now when we pre-fill, we're going to create a much level surface to tape to, and also we're going to pack the mud in there so it really gets far beyond behind there, and it's going to bond the two pieces of drywall together. Because like sometimes what you'll see some tapers just put like a little bit of mud, and then, or they'll even put like the mesh tape all up there first and then tape it. And if you think about it, if your eyes were on the other side of the wall, only a little bit of mud would actually come through the mesh tape, and it wouldn't effectively bond the two surfaces together. So a lot of times you'll get a lot of cracks because there wasn't enough mud that was used to secure both of the pieces together. So it's always best to do this and then pre-fill and let it set, and then tape it, and it'll be easier to tape, and you're ensured that the mud is going to effectively bond the two pieces of drywall together. And it's going to make for a better repair in the long run. It's going to hold up to more, like when the house like starts to settle, it's just going to hold up a lot better if you really pack it in there a lot with a setting type mud, and then you go to tape. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to mix up some of the EasySand mud, which is right there. It's the EasySand 90. And again, it's a setting type joint compound that's really good to do. You like really want to use this stuff on the first two coats to pre-fill and then embed, and then to either go over the mud one more time, and then you can just use the all-purpose on like the last coat. But again, it's very important to use this fast setting type mud on at least the first two coats to ensure that you build a sound, solid surface. So I'm gonna mix up some EasySand, and then we'll be back to pre-fill.